I'm Dr. Eugenia Gold, and this is Science on the Street. With the sudden popularity of online AI tools, I thought we could explore how we got to this point in technology. We'll cover the history and current state of AI and some of the most exciting developments in the field, including some uses in the medical field. Artificial intelligence has been a topic of science fiction for decades, with stories like 2001: Space Odyssey, The Terminator, and I, Robot showcasing the potential of AI. Or rather, the potential of AI to lead to the robot uprising, which only Will Smith predicted and only Will Smith can save us from, as long as he doesn't get canceled. Again. But the history of AI goes back much further than Will Smith and HAL 9000. In the 1950s, pioneers like Alan Turing and John McCarthy laid the foundations for AI research. They proposed that a machine could be created that could mimic human intelligence. Not only did their work help code break during World War II, but also led to the development of the first AI programs and the first commercially available computers, which were able to perform simple tasks like playing chess and solving mathematical problems. But despite these early successes, progress in AI was slow for many years. It wasn't until the 1990s that advances in computer power led to the ubiquity of home computers, which sparked the development of new algorithms and led to a resurgence of AI research. Today, AI is used in a wide range of applications, from self-driving cars to virtual personal assistants like Siri and Alexa. One of the most exciting areas of AI research is natural language processing, which allows machines to understand and generate human-like speech and text. One example of this is the AI model ChatGPT, which is able to generate text in a wide range of styles and formats. This technology is used in everything from chatbots to language translation systems, which people have started to love but are not yet falling in love with. Another example is AI-generated images like generative adversarial networks, which can create images of anything from animals to celebrities in a broad range of artistic styles. In my opinion, this technology has seen a recent jump in its capability, best illustrated by the difference in early iterations of the prompt "samurai woman in red and black armor riding a horse," which frankly returned absolute nightmare fuel. Recent iterations of the same prompt give much more accurate returns. AI has also found a place in the medical field, where it has the potential to revolutionize the way we diagnose and treat diseases. AI-powered image analysis can assist doctors in interpreting medical images such as CT and MRI scans and identifying potential issues that may be missed by human doctors. This can lead to more accurate diagnoses and earlier treatment. AI is also being used in drug discovery and development. It can analyze vast amounts of data to identify new drug candidates and predict which ones are most likely to be effective. But as these tools have become increasingly popular, many worry about job loss. Artificial intelligence absolutely has the potential to disrupt the job market and lead to job loss in certain industries. As AI systems become more advanced and capable of performing tasks that were previously done by humans, there are concerns that some jobs will become redundant. For example, in manufacturing, automated systems are already replacing workers in assembly lines, leading to job losses in that sector. In white-collar jobs such as customer service and data entry, AI systems are increasingly being used to automate routine tasks, which could also lead to job loss. However, it's important to note that while AI has the potential to displace some jobs, it also has the potential to create new ones in areas such as software development, data analysis, and AI-related fields. It is also expected to lead to increased productivity and economic growth, which could offset the effects of job loss in certain sectors. The fear of job loss due to AI is not a new phenomenon and has been a concern throughout the history of automation. However, many experts believe that the impact of AI on the job market will be similar to that of previous technological innovations, with some jobs being lost but others being created in their place. The key is for individuals and governments to ensure that workers are equipped with the skills and education needed to adapt to the changing job market and thrive in the age of AI. It's important to remember no advancement in technology, even ones that write or speak like people, can replace human connection and emotion. No, not even you, Baymax. And if you're wondering just how effective these AI tools can be, you should know that this episode was written primarily by ChatGPT and imaged partially by Midjourneybot. For more on this, we spoke with Kristopher Purens, data scientist and artificial intelligence expert. Chris, welcome.
I'm so glad to be here.
Thanks for being here. Happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
So you're an artificial intelligence expert and a data scientist. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you became involved in the field of artificial intelligence and maybe what you find most exciting about it?
Of course. When I was in graduate school, I was always looking at these cutting edge techniques. I was always excited about technology. And I realized that a lot of these new techniques have opportunities to change the world and make it better. And it's just such a fascinating field. Artificial intelligence has been a classic science fiction trope for years and years, and we're finally getting there. We're finally getting to these entities, these created entities that have hints of intelligence like a human would have. And it's just such an exciting field. And what I really am excited about is finding ways to use those to make the world a little bit better, to improve the lifestyles of people, to make things a little better for us humans.
We've been talking a lot about AI tools and how they might impact, humans in either good or bad ways. Can you give some examples of the AI tools that maybe you work with, or just ones that are available now?
One of their sort of two big developments sort of in the past year, and they are the large language model chatbots, so ChatGPT, and then the other one is the automatic art generators. And both of these have been created by going and scouring the internet for hundreds and millions of images. And both of these actually have real big potential for disrupting people's careers. So a lot of artists have been really upset because they both see their work being scraped off the internet and used in these models without permission, but also these models are sometimes creating things that would take them a week to do, months to do all this really complex, beautiful work. And so there's a big threat there to people's careers and livelihoods, or at least a perceived one. And I think some of the interesting things there is, how do you resolve that perceived threat one way or another? How do you handle all those problems with intellectual property? And it's a mess. It's a lot of people are upset, and they're upset for good reason right now.
Can you envision solutions to those types of concerns?
I think there will be solutions to these concerns, and it's going to be just take some time for people to think about how to approach them. So do you want to go and switch when you're developing a model? Do you want to switch to an opt-in model system where people can you're only including things that are clearly in the public domain or that you have permission to use? That's probably going to be something that's a differentiator for some of these systems in the future. And then the other side, of course, is if you're an artist, you might have been upset, hey, this is copying my artwork. But what happens when you can go and say, hey, give me something that is in my style that has these basic elements there? It spits out a first draft. When you go look at the classical artists, Michelangelo had apprentices that would do drafts and do work for him. Well, guess what? You now have an artificial intelligence that can do art in your style that you go and finish just like the Renaissance masters did. I mean, that's the potential. And I think that's really interesting because a lot of these tools, they're not wise. They do good work within the constraints that are given there, and they don't have the wisdom and expertise of a human. And it gives room for someone that is an expert to do more because they've got this artificial intelligence assistant making a lot of volume quickly that needs help.
I think there's similar, conversations happening in the educational setting where professors and teachers are worried that students are going to use, ChatGPT to write final drafts of assignments. And I think viewing it as more of a tool for coming up with a first draft, a tool for helping you organize your own thoughts and putting it down in a format that then you can edit and work with, I think that's really how these tools will be used in the future rather than, taking these jobs away from people. I hope.
I think that's exactly right. So if you go and talk to an executive at a company that's writing up something and sending out a memo to their workforce. The way they do that right now is they turn to their executive assistant and say, "Please draft this for me." Well, in the future, everyone's going to have an executive assistant that does exactly that kind of work, right? And you can just start thinking of it that way. And then, of course, is the challenge is that in the past year, there have been a lot of essays turned in that are created by artificial intelligence to professors, and they're not always easy to detect. And so you can see there's an arms race going on right now where services like Turnitin, which detect fraud and copied text, they're going to be starting to come out with ways to detect this automated generation of text from these systems. And it's not all that hard to do. There are a lot of telltale signs that your text came through some of these systems. And you're going to see that happen. You're going to see professors say explicitly, we're going to review this for signs that it wasn't written by you. And we're going to go and, grade you on that. The other side is that some professors are going to say, get a first draft written by one of these with your ideas, and then show me the improvements you made that show that you know the details, that you have wisdom better than the AI. And that's going to be actually a really cool thing, because professors are going to be able to use this to teach students better, because it can take care of some of that work that's just painful for students of getting down that first draft. Right?
I think part of our job as professors is to teach students how to critically think about tools like this and about what they read, across the internet and across other sources, and compiling all of that together into new thoughts or new products. And as part of our job, we should be able to incorporate something like this and have students be aware of the tool and its limits, have them be able to read something that ChatGPT produces and improve upon it.
Yeah. And the challenge here is that these models came out in the past year, caught people by surprise at the quality that were coming out, and so everyone's sort of scrambling right now to figure out exactly what to do. And I think a lot of people are figuring out, but it's going to be an ongoing process. It's going to be years, and then who knows? A few years from now, the next version of these tools are going to be so much better. Who knows what's going to be happening in 5 years?
Going back to the conversation we had a few days ago, we talked a little bit about how AI tools can potentially disrupt the job market in some sectors, and you had a really nice analogy to ATMs. Can you talk a little bit about that analogy?
Yeah, so the automatic teller machine, which you go to a bank and you can go grab some cash out, when those came out in the 80s, there was obviously fear that they were going to replace tellers that were at banks and doing that job. Well, what happened actually was that the number of bank locations exploded because humans didn't have to spend so much time counting out money, and the banks were able to vastly hire more people doing work that helps their clients, the bank's clients, get better services, get them more services, get them what they need. So the opportunity of automation can remove some jobs. It's, if you are literally out there doing something that's super easily automated by these things, your job's probably going to change. The flip side, though, of course, is that it can create opportunities because it's going to be replacing possibly work that can be replaced. It means that you can add value by what you do more, do well, and do uniquely. And I will say these machines overwhelmingly are good at doing some smart things and copying, but they're bad at wisdom. They don't know what's important, and they're not going to know what's important. So figure out how to take what's important in your career and do more of it. Use these machines to help you do it, and you can have some good job security that way. I'm just excited about the future. Looking back at the past 2,000 years of human history, technology has come and replaced work that people did that was hard and difficult. 100 years ago, half the population was working in agriculture. going out there and running horses around a field and doing that hard work. And now less than 1% of the population is in agriculture, and we have automation that does that work for us. Looming, making fabric. Fabric used to be all handmade, right? By people on loom. Well, we got machines to do that. And now we're starting to see this technology that's going to come in and create so much opportunity for us, because it's going to make it easier to do some of these things like make a beautiful painting. And so I can't wait to see the next 30 years of development, to see what us as a combined humanity can do with this technology to make the world a little bit better.
Amazing. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
A pleasure to be here today, and let's look forward to the next 40 years of development.
We'll see you all next time on Science on the Street.
I'm your host, Kostas. What is AI?
Artificial intelligence.
Companies have been using AI more and more. For example, BuzzFeed has been using AI even though they dropped 12% of their employees.
I mean, looking at it from a business aspect, that would low-key kind of help your sales and profit and stuff like that, so you don't have to pay your employees. But for the people, that really sucks.
Are you very AI's here to stay? It's not like a Google Glass type scenario?
AI is here to stay, and I think we just need to make sure that people actually have opportunities to learn about it, so that way the jobs don't get taken.